What is good? What is good? What is good? Clint Smith, Misty, Cassidy. How is everybody? Oh man. Dude, I hate technology. It's great, but I hate it. I got to get used to using this thing again. Pretty good myself. That's awesome, Cassidy. Yeah, I appreciate everybody. I hit I think 12,000 subs, man. Thank you guys. Man, I got a lot I want to talk about on these aliens, man. So, check this out. I've been really looking into water and this crazy pancake shaped rock called Umamua. I think that water is the answer to a lot of our questions about extraterrestrials. I think water holds a lot of the answers. Think about it. Water, everything that I've found says that water comes from science. Water comes from extraterrestrial. And when you say extraterrestrial, it doesn't mean aliens either. It doesn't necessarily mean aliens. Let me look at the definition of extraterrestrial. What do you guys think? If let's say everybody believed that aliens were a thing, where do you think they come from? If you had to point your finger in a direction, would it be water? I mean, let's be honest. Like space to me, when I think of an ant, like when I look at ants and little creatures walking on the ground, to them, we're huge. We're massive, right? Well, what if, in the same sense, we're just very small in compared to the bigger picture or a bigger picture, right? What's up, J Hop? Car chick. And it's crazy because a lot of people want to say, oh, aliens don't exist. Aliens are not a thing. But we always make a negative into something. Like we always think aliens are a negative thing. Negative, negative, negative. What if they're actually here to help? What if they're here to like understand the planet and help better the planet? Technically, all angels and demons, etc., are extraterrestrials. Exactly. Yeah, not from this earth. Okay, so that's the definition of extraterrestrial in a nutshell. Not from this earth. What's up, dog? Look up extraterrestrial and then extraterrestrial. They don't correlate. Okay. Oh, the word, look up the word terrestrial and then look up the word extraterrestrial. Two separate things. All right, let's see. Extra. Okay. Extraterrestrial. Is extraterrestrial life or alien life, life which may occur outside Earth and did not originate on Earth. Okay. And just let's look up terrestrial. No way. So it's relating. So one means you're definitely not from Earth, and the other one definitely means you're from Earth. So terrestrial is Earth. So the word extra is space. Yo, words are so weird when you think of that. If you put extra terrestrial, so man, man. Let's see. Then lastly, look up extra. Yeah, so extra, technically, extra should mean space, right? That's what added to or existing or An unusual amount of number. What? So you're adding to an unusual amount of number. So you're adding more. So how could extraterrestrial mean not from Earth? Oh, the extraterrestrial are adding the more to terrestrial. Yo. Wow. So how are they extra? They should be anti-terrestrial. Right. They should be not from Earth. Okay, let's look up anti. Yeah, I get what you're saying. How can you be adding to said terrestrial? So if extra adds to something that exists on Earth, right? Is that what I'm getting from it? Terrestrial is Earth, from Earth. Extraterrestrial is not from Earth. So if you're, yo, yeah, I get what you're saying. Okay, hold on. They're from both water and space. Opposed to or against Earth. Yes. Anti, opposed to or against Earth. So it should be anti-terrestrial, but that's only if they were opposed to it. So what if they know that, like, bro, let's be honest. We have all of these freaking satellites, right? Staring up in the sky everywhere. Hawaii, I mean, they spend billions of dollars to just look up in the sky. And let's say there's something up there. There ain't a damn thing we can do about it. It takes us 47 years to get to any destination. They'll say, okay, this rocket's launching now, and we'll expect it to finally get to its destination in 2052. What is that? That don't even make no sense. You know what I mean? So what if they know they're here for good? They know they're here to help us. So they're just kind of waiting, like watching, waiting, trying to. We would shoot shit out of the sky normally. You know what I'm saying? Let something fly past our sky. And I mean, look at the military about the Tic Tacs, where there were all these clusters of some sort of spacecraft, watercraft. They don't really know what it was. They just seen it on a radar. Who knows? They said it was flying, but why did it have to be flying? Why couldn't it be in the water? Yes, they were in the air, and maybe their machines only pick up air, like things in the air with them, but who knows? It's the radar. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So if you're extraterrestrial, you're a added to terrestrial that is more advanced than the past terrestrials. Yo, that makes a lot of sense. That just pieces together what I've been thinking. So I found out that another planet, supposedly ran into the Earth, right? So here's the Earth doing its thing, and here's this other planet, and they collided. And that's what created water and life. And water is what harvested and was able to have humans. Like without water, we don't exist. So what if this planet, which was extraterrestrial, impacted with the Earth? They have water, they have all these things on their planet that made our planet their planet. The oceans, it could have been a water planet. They said it was an all ice planet. So what if this planet has like watered, like a water tribe? Yeah, bro, jump in. Jump in. Here, I'll send you I got you. I'll send you the link, dog. 1 minute. Uh there you go. Also, under ultra terrestrial and interdimensional. Bro, ultra terrestrial, what does that mean? Dope knows. What is ultra terrestrial? An interdimensional. Bro, I've been reading about these dimensions. These dimensions plan it, plan it, plan it. Oh my God. Yeah, when you break it down in words, and I don't care what anybody says, we have our own languages. And that's another thing that's mind blowing. Think of all the different languages we have. There's so many different languages. There's so many different like cultures and we all there's no way ultra is being past the thinking of the seventh dimension. Oh yeah. Okay. You're right, because I remember reading that oh my God. And then but you can't get that far, right? Essentially. Well, you can get that far, but not on your own. Yo, what if ultra bro, this is gonna okay. I wonder if when you die and DMT starts to come into effect, if that's gotta be another dimension, right? That has got to be a dimension, because dimensions are what lines of sight or points of interest. Point A to B is a dimension. This, you know what I mean? So if a dream is a dimension, right? Yo, past the thinking of the seventh dimension. So you're not even thinking at that point. You're not even, you're freaking, that is subconscious. Like that is you just, it's just happening. You don't think about dreaming. You just dream, right? So that's an you're involuntarily, that's insane. So I wonder if, so if time travel, if these things are able to get past three dimensions, right? Three dimensions of thinking or seeing, and they're able to see into the seventh, eighth, ninth dimension, what's to say that they're not everywhere, right? Like they could move from point A to point B rapidly. Because Einstein, I really believe Einstein was onto something when he explained like the Einstein bridge and wormholes and how you could transfer from one dimension to the next dimension. So what if those same portals don't have to only exist in space? What if they can exist in your mind? Right? So because I've seen weird things in my dream, crazy things, but how do we know it's crazy as we think it is? Huh. And then water makes up your brain, water makes up everything, right? Water is, without water, I mean, I learned microwaves. Check this out. Microwaves. People think microwaves destroy your food, blah, 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 blah. Microwaves just shake water. Microwaves take the water molecule and they shake it violently, and friction cooks your food. So that's why when you put a plate in the microwave, the plate don't get hot, because the plate don't have water in the plate. The food gets hot on the plate, which then heats the plate up. So some things that have water still in, like cheap products, cheap Tupperware, that's why they melt. That's why they twist. It's because the government says UFOs exist. How now we're going to believe it? Yeah, well, no shit. I agree. Well, I think everybody knows that something is out there. I think most people are afraid to accept it. It's change. It's um like it takes away. Notice we're allowed to express any religion we like. Like we have, it's okay to do whatever. If there's such thing as an extraterrestrial that created life on Earth and created us, and they release that, there'd be mass hysteria. People would be losing their mind. The no splash thing made me think it's another dimension. Yeah, but What is another dimension that only exists? See, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, if you try to get out of your own mind and you try to close off what you like, what you know or what you believe or what you've been taught your whole life is reality, and you shut that off, and you just think like, what do lizards or snakes or ants or I know they don't think, well, maybe they have to think because they work, you know what I'm saying? They do tasks. But when they see us, what are they, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're so sophisticated. These ants walk across the ground all day long carrying sticks and shit and dirt to build ant piles, and birds make bird nests. What do they do when they see us out here with fucking excavators digging holes? Yeah, lucid dreaming is pretty crazy. I agree. What makes them when I'm asleep, here I'm awake. Yo, that's facts, bro. When you go to bed and you're laying there. The other day I laid and I was in like a twilight sleep, and those are the dopest dreams. Dreaming's got to be a dimension. I've had a few lucid dreams, definitely. And then I've had situations where I've dreamed about something that's going to happen, and it happened exactly how I dreamed it to. And it doesn't have to be like no big event. It doesn't have to be a huge extravagant event. It can be as simple as like just seeing a situation, seeing something develop. That's some sort of communication. You're and a lot of times it's chalked up to ghost, blah 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 blah. I think it's more of a spiritual thing. What's up, dog?
What else, Ken?
Not much.
What about these aliens?
Dog, I think it's crazy, dude. Like, how can
Yeah, some
we
of the stuff you were talking about was fucking interesting. So go on.
well, how can we be so blind to the fact that we didn't just I mean, I know people are gonna hate that I'm gonna say this, but God didn't come down here and create all this shit. Not one person can do all that, right? So how can we be so blind to the fact that how can we be so smart yet so dumb to create all this shit and make all this shit happen and make these Fortune 500 companies and all these big things go, yet we're just a bunch of fucking idiots. There's something driving that.
Bro, I think it's crazy how people just write shit off.
Yeah.
Nobody wonders, you know? I mean,
Like the
every,
UFO thing, we just change it to UAPs because it's something we can't explain. Like,
yeah, like, I don't know. Like, when I looked at the abbreviation thing, I was like, and by the way, if I'm too loud or something, let me know.
oh, you're
Um,
good.
I looked at it kind of like a clue. Like, it was saying, hey, this thing doesn't fly, it doesn't use our physics. Uh, it don't need like wind or anything. Like, and I know you heard the guy talking about it's been setting still in category 4 hurricanes. Like, actually
Yeah.
still though, like non-moving, non-vibrating, just perfectly still. So maybe that's why they changed it. Maybe it got changed after so many years because who knows? Maybe to confuse people, or maybe to for the guy that was like, "Yo, we got to change this." So some people out there get the next clue, like, "Hey, this thing ain't flying. It's not technically an object, so it's out of our dimension of physics."
Well, yeah, but see, it's weird because you made a good point. They reclassified something without truly knowing what it was.
Right. Which
So
tells
how
you
can
they do know kind of what it is.
yeah, they 100% and they know that it's something, they just don't know maybe exactly what it is or why it's here.
I think you can tell that they know based off of certain rules about natural life, like the ocean, Antarctica, uh, all that kind of shit. Plus, you got to think, hey, if this thing can set still in category 4 hurricanes, and if it runs off some kind of current and it wants to evade things, the ocean might be good for all three of those.
Mm-hmm. Look
You
at
know,
that Oumuamua. Have you ever watched that stuff about that rock that's just tumbling
the
through
cigar
space?
rock.
Yes. Do you
Yeah,
see that they found out that it's not a cigar? It's actually more like a pancake.
really.
It's like more of a cylinder shaped, and
Hmm.
it's tumbling through space head over heels, dum, 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 and it's actually accelerating. It doesn't show the characteristics of a comet or an asteroid because they would have a trail coming off of them. It doesn't have any of that. And it zoomed around, went right up past the sun and turned around and went up faster, like it was running from gravity, like it knew gravity was going to suck it in, so it
Hmm.
accelerated and rode out. How that is exactly an unidentified phenomenon.
Uh, Not only that, you know what I just realized based off what you said? This
Hmm.
thing is very stealthy because we didn't know that it was a circle shape or a pancake shape forever. So that means it had to, like, take this dip can, for example.
Yeah,
I would have to orbit so you only seen it this way. As soon as you seen it this way, you would know
it would
that it's a
change.
circle. That motherfucker
Yeah.
purposely was like that.
Well, they can't even catch it, bro. It's going like they know that it's not nothing from our space system or whatever because it's moving so fast through space that they got to let it leave and they're going to try to catch it on the way back through. And it's
So
coming
wait a
back
minute,
through
this
right
thing,
now.
it's like stuck in gravity, maybe,
No,
or
it keeps leaving. It keeps leaving and coming back. They almost believe what they're trying to say it is because they can't identify nothing from this thing. That doesn't make sense. They think it's an exoplanet that blew apart in another
Mhm.
galaxy and it was shot into our galaxy and it's getting sucked into our orbit. But the problem is it ran from gravity. So if it's running away from our orbit, then how is it stuck in our orbit?
you know, up until last night, which I ain't gonna say, like, obviously I don't fucking know. Obviously nobody in the world knows. So, and at this point, anyone who's like, "Oh, that's silly," what's silly is people that don't ask and don't care to know. I don't want to fucking hang out with those kind of people because they probably don't have really good imaginations.
Right.
And everything that has been great in our history that's been created has been created from crazy, wild imagination. So, and if you look around at society today, at the schools, at fuck everything, it's to kill your creativity. That's why all the schools are gray and fucking ugly ass, like dull color blues, and like they look like prisons. Like it's not
Exactly.
like it used to be. They want us to be dumbed down for a reason. And I got a point I want to fucking get to about that later. But here's my thing. I used to think that, hey, this thing runs off gravity, probably, as some sort of super fucking crazy thing that is attached to the poles of the earth, and it could zip wherever it wants without propulsion and this, that, and the other, right? Here's my thing. That would be too easy to catch them if that was what they ran off of. I think they run off the deletion of time, the
Mm,
deletion of a certain dimension of our reality. Because if you take out time and keep all the other dimensions, that would explain why it don't have propulsion, why it don't need fuel. Time was created by something. Otherwise, we wouldn't have it. We would just have two rocks spinning around the earth. Somebody implemented time. They implemented time to change physics. If you take time out of physics, you're infinite. If you're infinite, you can be every version of yourself and every opposite version of yourself and everything in between by the ninth dimension. So that tells me when you reach that dimension, you don't age, which would
mm,
explain. See, that's the thing. Like, in a way, if you watch this stuff, they're kind of, if you look at how they act and, what these spacecraft look like, you ever noticed they don't really change?
right.
Haven't changed since cavemen were drawing them on the walls. They haven't changed. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you got the best version of if it ain't broke, you never have to fix it.
Yeah, so
That's
you think that has a
human
lot to
shit.
do with you think that has a lot to do with like the Mayans had a different calendar mindset than we do. Like we chose days and years, right? But
Right.
that's not the true time. When we're all yeah, the ball's dropping. It's not real. Like that ain't even the real time. We lost a day. We lost 6 hours here and there every time we use a 24-hour schedule.
Right.
So maybe that's the time, you know what I mean? That leftover time, you said they're feeding off of time. So if they are ahead of our time and they're understanding our time and harvesting our time, yeah, I could see what that would be the dimensional
Yeah,
Fake
because
phrase.
yeah, because if they're so far ahead in time that there is no time, that means they can exist in any given time
Right.
in
Yeah.
history.
Yeah. That's why you see things from way back in the 60s that nobody even knew existed popping up now like it's something brand new.
Damn, can you hear that?
Uh-uh.
All right, let's make sure. I fucking just started thundering loud as fuck. Another thing, bro. Why they act like animals? You ever notice that?
No, what do you mean? Like they don't
UFOs
have
act like curious animals.
yeah,
They
you're
have
right. They're
no
just gonna roam
direction, no
in.
route. They're just surviving, observing, and being stealthy. It's
Well,
exactly what an animal does.
remember a long time ago when you talked about because I don't believe stars are what people say stars are. And you said, what if it's a bunch of eyeballs just watching the earth, right?
We don't
So
know what
what
it is. Yeah, it could be a fucking shiny candy cane. It could be a fucking planet. It could be a sun. It could be anything.
so what if as much as we're observing them, other areas are observing us? And that is them looking at us, and those creatures that are crashing into us are actually really looking for aliens. They don't give a fuck about us. They're looking for the intelligent that created us, and they're in the ocean. So that's why you see them crashing into deserts, because deserts give off a mirage. Where did the word mirage come from? It looks like water, heat, desert, sand,
Mm-hmm.
water. These things are flying into the desert and crashing into the sand because they're trying to get into the water.
Mm. What if all the towers and satellites and shit we've put up over the years, what if there's some of them out there that are made with their quantum mechanics to malfunction them and make them crash when they try to pass by?
Yeah, or those are there. See, that I've always thought that. What if they're just teaching us how to build up their infrastructures? Like Elon Musk putting out satellites around. They're just helping strengthen. Like somebody made a good comment. How can we research space so much instead of figuring out how to cloak the earth? So what if that's what they're doing? What if all these satellites that they're launching out over the earth eventually to an extraterrestrial outside of Earth coming to harm Earth, they can't see us,
Mm.
created by the aliens that created Earth?
Hmm.
It's a safeguard. We're
That's
like
the
a bunch of
thing.
soldiers.
They visit like someone who checks on a biology project in high school,
Right.
or a farmer that sprays for crops. Like that's the pattern. Like, I'm just stating the obvious in what I've observed. They obviously don't want to hurt us. They don't have guns. Maybe because they don't need guns.
Hmm.
Maybe because that's not their intention. Could they have guns? Fuck, I mean, I guess they could. They malfunction FLIR radars, but it's harmless though.
That's a great point. What if we were bred to be like a battery? We are the energy. We are
Oh
the
fuck yeah,
time.
bro! The solar system is damn near side by side with a fucking 305 engine.
Oh my God, bro. What? Okay, so check this out. This is going to be a crazy analogy, but I've probably watched 5,000 years of YouTube videos, and I'm not even alive for 5,000 years. But the way that YouTube, once you click the video, you essentially watch the video, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what if we are a harvest of time? Because the more humans that are created, the more time that is created.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, if I
Well,
got
yeah, because
wow,
if you look at stuff in the it's definitely past 4 and 5. It's probably 6th dimension. So I'll give you an example. Say I take this phone, right? This is what
Mhm.
this dimension says. So right here is making this video right now. And when I click pause, me in there is still going to be there, and me here is going to be here. So then when you click it and play it, real you is in fact captured in a different dimension through this phone.
Oh, like we
So
are right
then,
now, because I'm
yeah,
seeing you through a different dimension.
right.
Oh,
So what if this is almost the building of a battery for a future simulation? Maybe we're not the simulation. Maybe we're trying to create the simulation, which we kind of already have in many ways.
mhm.
But once again, who says that doesn't go for infinity backwards and forwards?
Right.
So
Well,
that's
we've
the
been
thing. That's a
creating
curious
dimensions.
thing. Go ahead.
we've been creating dimensions since the beginning of man, in theory. Because when
Yeah,
you
we
paint a
created
picture on a
televisions.
wall, when those dudes are painting pictures on the wall, we're coming and seeing their
One
vision on a
dimensional
wall.
vision.
Yeah, 1,000 million trillion years ago.
Right.
So what's to say that we're only designed to reach vision of a certain dimension, right? And
Right.
we're just creating more. So we're accelerating our dimensional vision capabilities, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, it does.
So
And
I like maybe they're driving that situation to where, you know how you said, oh, it's blinking, like they want you to see it.
yeah,
Hey, I'm right here. Hey, I'm right. Maybe they do. Maybe they're expecting us to be like, yo, these aliens are here to help us. What's going on?
right. But see, that's the thing. If they are interdimensional, that means they already know where we've been and where we're headed. So
Right.
then what's the point of us being here if they were that kind of entity? That would mean we would be here for entertainment
Oh, I get what you're saying. If they already know what is in the future, they don't.
or a vacation.
Yeah. Huh.
Look, what if they don't have physical bodies? What if they're just a bunch of molecules of energy, and this is the way they found to put that in a physical body, call it a fucking solar system, make it where it self restarts, respawns all the time, so you can always go back.
Like the saying, nothing comes from nothing. Like we had to have nothing came from something. You know what I mean? It can't. We
Yeah.
came from. Yeah. I get what you're saying. Like
Well, by the 10th dimension, everything is nothing.
right. But that came from something. Like
Right.
yeah.
Exactly.
Dude, that's
But
such a mind fuck.
when you add infinity, which is a very small number in quantum mechanics, by the way, then it's like holy fucking shit! Like god dang! Like what is it? Are we vehicles?
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
that's the case, then that would mean they're vehicles, futuristic versions. So that would explain why they act the way they act.
Hmm.
We go to look humans and look. Hey, take everything I say with a grain of salt. It's just
It's a
imagination,
theory.
and it's
Yeah.
just possibility. Based off quantum mechanics, really. But what if? Hang on, let me. This stuff is like one of those things.
Yeah, I get it, bro.
What if you know how humans go to museums?
Yeah.
Okay, we go there to do what? See our
So
past.
yeah.
That's why we have history books and all this other shit, right? Okay. Well, we started with the cave drawings. Then it went to drawings, then paintings, then markers, then videos, and yada 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 yada, all the way to now. If this keeps going, don't you think it's a possibility that we are the current in their future? Wow. In their future, we are the current Polaroid or museum for what they used to be.
Right. Yeah. I get what you're saying. Like like it's crazy to say like that, but their creation or their model or their
Right.
study.
Yeah, we're a TV show or a movie without boundaries. It's just a
Yeah.
fucking TV that keeps expanding and expanding until there is no TV.
Yeah. I believe I believe that that's just now, even right now. We're constantly taking and resaturating the past with the future and the future with current. Like we're so far ahead in time with movies, but yet we can't get a signal to a cell phone in the woods. You know what I mean?
And why
Like
do movies tell the future, even if they're bullshit, crazy ass movies?
theories that, yeah, people are like, oh, that's not possible. And next thing you know, it happens. Yeah,
Because
you're
they
right.
control time and they're right ahead of artificial time. They're in a natural state. Okay, if there's two things moving and this is them and their creation,
Right.
and this is time, and what they created is time. They are in forwards of time that is linear, controlling this.
Where that goes. Oh, I get what you're saying. Like they've already been in front of it to understand what was happening. So now
And
they're
get a
kind of
hold of it.
yeah. That makes a lot of sense. And what if that, okay, so that's crazy. So what if that thing that's tumbling through the sky is checking our future with the sun? It's out roaming around looking at shit.
You may blow your mind real quick
Yeah.
before we get too off of this subject.
Yeah.
Look up the definition of history,
Okay.
then look up the definition of natural history. I'm gonna sit and wait. I want to see your reaction.
Okay. History. For it, there's different definitions. It says for students. No, I don't want for students. Get out of here.
Look up
It is a study of past events, particular in human affairs. Now, what am I looking up? The other one?
natural history.
The scientific study of animals or plants, especially as concerned with observation rather than experiment, and presented in popular rather than academic form. No way.
So if that's natural history, that means we're artificial history.
Yeah, but it says presented in popular rather than academic form. So that means they're just presenting it in an opinion rather than an actual factual.
Yeah.
No way.
Now look up what was it?
It's as they live in nature opposed to the popular. What?
Yeah, dude.
So you
Now,
mean to tell me that means that it what our we're been taught is not real, essentially.
well, technically, it is in this form of thinking, it would and wouldn't be at the same exact time.
Yeah, you're right, because then it is their natural environment, but at times they don't ever live in that natural environment.
Right.
Okay.
So
Huh.
now, oh man, this is crazy. Are you familiar with what calcium carbonate is?
No. Well,
Okay, so calcium carbonate is mainly I don't want to say it's only, but mainly on the human body. It's in teeth and bones.
yeah, I was gonna say, I thought it was cartilage for a second, but maybe I'm wrong.
So calcium carbonate is mostly found in rocks,
Okay.
bones, and teeth, right? All over the world, every rock in the world. Also, shells and of like snails and clams and stuff in the ocean are also predominantly made of calcium carbonate, right? All
Right.
right. The main three stones that have calcium carbonate in it was is like a high conductor. Is all the shit that was made that made the pyramids. Now check this out. Our teeth and bones cannot be broken down or destroyed in water because of ions that are like moving freely around it, right? To like keep it
Right.
a solid and keep it like looking good or whatever. But when it doesn't have water, it can. So if your teeth are not sitting in water and in the dirt, they fucking eventually like deteriorate and shit, right? So the
Yeah.
bones, all right, because there's no moving ions around it to keep it having energy or whatever. Look at all the pyramids, bro. There's no water around them, but there's water erosion.
Right.
So the ions, the anions and the cations in water that are good for you, that are like charged good in a sense, they can't flow around that calcium carbonate anymore. So now it's deteriorating. People's like, man, this thing has been around forever. Yeah, because it had fucking water around it to keep
Oh, I
it
get.
charged
Yeah.
like that. That's why
Yeah.
I believe that's why pyramids are shaped like they are. Because look, it gets every single bit of rainwater on it. And it goes to the bottom and into the water around it. So it's freely moving and continues to freely move. Now,
Huh.
that would cause it to conduct electricity, probably. So, if they can conduct electricity off of it, then that means you have calcium carbonate that is a solid and that is a liquid working together to make essentially like energy.
Yeah. Well, you know what electrolysis is?
That's why they're probably so crazy about Antarctica. Don't melt Antarctica,
Yep.
because now those ions are froze and not moving freely over something.
Yeah. Do you know what electrolysis is?
Electrolysis. I think so, but I don't want to say because I don't want to be wrong. What is it?
It uses electricity in the water to erode like metal. So
Yeah.
like boats that sit in the water, if they don't have zincs on it, which is a softer metal, electrolysis in the water, which is electricity in the water, will eat away and erode the metal.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. So you're right. It's generating power through the water, creating electricity. Like they were ahead of the time. I think they were built in the water.
Bro, look up this. You're gonna fucking be like, what? Look up is pure water a conductor of electricity?
No, you gotta have salt.
So pure water don't conduct electricity. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. I knew it's gotta have I'm a welder, so you gotta have sweat. You got like there's gotta have salt.
Yeah, it's gotta have some form of other chemical in it.
It's an insulator. Yeah, water's an insulator. Like so that's what I was saying, bro. Computers, water cooled computers. Imagine that. These computers are so advanced now. How long has a water cooled computer been around?
Shit,
Forever?
probably a long ass time.
Well, the computers haven't even been around that long, right?
Oh well, to us, no.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I think that that energy, I think that knowledge, I think that everything is transferred through water.
Hold on 1 second.
You're good.
Cheese. You have tomatoes? Ooh, cheese ketchup. Yeah, please. No, ma'am. Onions. Please, ma'am. But yeah,
So
what
water's an insulator, but salt water is a conductor, right? So what if that is your positive, your negative charge to transfer energy, transfer knowledge, transfer?
I'd like
And
to
what are
know
we?
what ocean they go in the most. Is it a saltwater or a freshwater?
They're all there's no freshwater oceans. There's more
Well, what
salt.
I'm saying is, like, do they stay like near tribs that are like fresh water that like leaks into oceans, or I wonder if they're near anything like that.
Well, think of like Mississippi. Yeah, oh, I get what you're saying. Like where it runs brackish water.
Right.
Fresh,
Because
yeah.
hey, look, I want some imagination shit. What if those are the vehicles that made the rivers, carved them out? They're the perfect shape.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. Or if the rivers were a source of like they ran those lines, almost veins. Well, look at Florida, bro. We're over top of all these aquifers. There's maps of Florida that show there's nothing but underground rivers all through Florida. Why?
Bro, that would mean that these things can choose dimensions like you do fuses in a fuse box, because you
Yeah.
would have to use them for different things. Because if you have certain dimensions in, you're transparent and move through things. You would have to take a certain component of a dimension out to be able to move a solid. That's why the other day I said, damn, I wish somebody would have asked at the fucking UFO thing, does UFOs cast shadows and can they move a solid? I don't give a fuck if it's this dip can. Can it move it? I want to know.
Like physically, like can it touch it
Yeah, like can it
and
nudge
push
it
it?
and like move it? Yeah, like can it touch that motherfucker?
Oh, so you want to know, is it just like a silhouette where it can transfer through
Yeah, like
something? Ah,
is it interdimensional? Can it change that? Does it have, I mean, obviously it does, since we can see it and then not see it. But I think that the weird thing is we are seeing these things more the more we upgrade our optics,
hmm.
the things we look through to see shit. Like, it's only popping up on flares, but it only pops up to a certain degree on a flare. Like, you
You're
can't see
lying.
the outline of it or nothing. You just see fucking intense energy. What's up with
Yeah, and
that?
if they were in on top of that, bro, if you can't see it and they were gonna hurt us, right? We would already be all done.
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
why not try to harness it? I see why some of those people in like the 50s and the 60s were going crazy trying to harness. Like, remember the movie Independence Day where all the people were on the like, hey, the aliens are here, come kick it with us. Because realistically, like, I want to know, bro.
What if them being here
Yeah.
is a fraction true? What if they put DNA here They
Right.
created the Einsteins, the Teslas, the Beethovens. What if that's a DNA thing? Because you got to think about it. Why do these things pick people up and drop them back off? Why don't they just fucking keep them?
Yeah. Well, maybe
Okay.
they do.
So maybe some they do. Maybe it
Yeah.
depends on something, some human property.
Look at the Bermuda Triangle. Like, if you notice, like a lot of people that travel on ships and planes, and a lot of those people that go missing on these planes, they're very intelligent people. Like, they're not just average Joes. Remember that big Boeing 737 that went missing over Malaysia? It was
Mhm.
full of scientists, bro. They had scientists, they had doctors, they had chemists. They weren't just average Joes on an airplane.
Right.
Every one of them were doctors and shit that went missing. So they have no idea. Oh, it went in the ocean. Oh, good claim.
See, yeah, like if they can vanish out of nowhere, like
Yeah.
taking frames out of a video, that tells me that their propulsion is time, and if their propulsion is time, think about this. Now it's a really weird thing to fathom. Oh, thank you, darling. Thank you so much. No, ma'am. You can come sit in here if you want to. All right, love you. Think about this. Reincarnation, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they control time, when you die, they can go back before you die and take you somewhere else to make you what you used to be, to regenerate you out to the world again, which would
Yeah.
explain doppelgangers over the years.
And that's deja vu.
Deja vu as well.
Yeah. Because
You
I've hit home runs in baseball fields when I was little, and I swear, like, I knew walking to the plate that I was going to hit a home run here.
Mhm.
And I as I hit it, I seen the ball going over the fence. I knew where it was going to land. There was a lake back there. I said, it's weird, dude. It's like a premonition.
Oh yeah, dude, and it gets weird sometimes, bro. Hey, if you listen, we've had this talk before about my music, but if you listen to Blue Jeans album,
Right.
two things in there that are very odd that came true. The Bo Duke thing, so many lanes, Bo and Luke couldn't even do it. F the cops,
Mhm.
whatever, yada yada yada, whatever I was saying. Bo Duke got pulled over and arrested for going way
Yeah,
too
that's
fast
crazy.
in all the lanes at night on the interstate. What the fuck? You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Second off, the Island Boy thing.
Yeah.
I was, fucking around dissing them because they need to grow the fuck up anyway. But then I call them gay. 4 days later, they're kissing on the internet. What the fuck? Now, look, this one is scary, bro. This one is scary. Rest in peace, Donnie Baker. First
Okay.
off,
Yeah.
bro,
Shout
the
out to Donnie,
night,
man. That's sad.
huh?
That's sad, bro.
Bro, yeah, I know. Then and look, I'm not the kind of person, bro. I ain't gonna say nothing like this because I really don't even want to say it or tell anyone. I shit you not, bro. 24 hours before that was on the internet, me and Bree was driving in the car for no fucking reason. I don't know why. I can't explain it. I looked over at her and I said, somebody we know, like, that is an entertainer of some sort, just died. And she kind of just stared at me. I was like, we're gonna know about it in the next 24 hours. Bro, I'll wake up, Donnie Baker has died at a show. I was like,
No way.
bro, yeah. I was like, what in the fuck? What was that all about?
Yeah. Do you get that paranoia about, like, do you have that? That's weird that you say that, because sometimes, like, I had a neighbor that died. I had a guy across the street that died that lived over here. Sometimes I feel like remorse for somebody before it happens, or
Yeah.
like it ain't really, I don't know that somebody's gonna die, but I look at them differently, or I feel like the dude broke my window with his lawnmower. He was an old ass dude. He ended up dying like 4 days later in his front yard of a heart attack, right? Or an aneurysm or something.
Mhm.
And I didn't make him pay for my window. I didn't call the cops on him. And I felt like remorse for the dude. It's weird. I get what you're saying.
Well, back to what you're saying though, but like, anybody who I can't see the comments or nothing, I'm just enjoying the conversation. But
Yeah.
But if you look at what these super intelligent people who study quantum mechanics and dimensions and shit, if you look at what they think is factual, that would make sense. Because
Yeah.
in a sense, you are you every time before you and every time in front of you. So that would make sense about deja vu and stuff. I mean,
Oh, yeah. I did. I was there before. Oh man, that makes a lot of sense. Like I already encountered it because, well, that's where reincarnation. That's why I believe in that, dude. I believe in reincarnation.
all right. Remember when, and this was a while ago. Remember when me and Kansas went to we were going through Daniel Boone
Panama.
National Park and seen that thing?
Oh yeah.
If you go back and watch the video on how I explained it and what it looked like, because I remember saying, bro, it was like a weird gray, like dark gray color, had little dots on it.
Yeah.
The front looked like a huge lit up iceberg, and the back looked like some weird veiny glowing lava rock. Have you just seen the new UFO thing that happened that the dude caught the video of? It looks exactly like it. And the guy's like, it was the weirdest fucking thing I ever seen. It was moving odd. Go back to my video from last year. Hell, almost a year and a half ago now. It's the same exact thing. Bro, the same thing. And before that video, I've never seen anybody describe it like that. But it's on video. The dude got it on video on his fucking night vision. And bro, it's fucking weird, dude.
That's how I would expect it to look, almost like an asteroid. And then that's where that freaking planet thing plays back in. Dude, a lot of things, like, you know how they say support things off of facts. Don't just have a theory, have a theory with factual backing evidence. So you mean to tell me you seen some glowing rock creature flying through the skies? That you know what I'm saying? That's a personal experience. It's on the news about this shit. So you see that's your second. And now I'm watching YouTube videos about some strange rock tumbling through space with light that's glowing like a red amber in certain spots of it that doesn't look normal. It's going faster than it should. I mean, there's all the facts I need.
Bro, do you now this was a long time ago, bro, and I have the fucking proof still because I went and looked it up, and I was like, I wonder if that's still out there. So if I Google, hang on, remember when the first Navy pilot come out and was like, "Look at this video," and it's the famous Tic Tac. Look at that thing video.
Yeah.
Watch this. If you go back and timestamps don't lie, bro. Watch this. In the same exact 3 weeks.
You're not talking about the Navy one, that you're talking about the lady that recorded it?
Oh, no, I'm about to show you I'm about to show you a picture. Hang on 1 second. I'll have to find it. Hang on.
Clear Bear said on some of them you can see legit bolts. Yeah, I know. I've seen that on some of the videos that you see. Some of these you see almost like bolts that look like humans manufactured them.
Mm-hmm.
Pink triangle glass shit.
Word up.
Hey, there's a Scottish guy that reaches out to me. He said he's in some sort of like circle, like almost like the Bermuda Triangle, but it's in Scotland. I said, you guys have a lot of water there? He said, oh yeah, we all go in the water fishing, scuba diving. I'm like, yo, I'm telling you, they're attracted to that.
I mean, look, we don't go in the ocean.
We don't want to.
Well, we can't. We can't. That's probably where the motherfuckers live at.
We can't. I don't believe that, bro. We can go 1,000,000 miles to the moon, but we can't get to the bottom of our ocean.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and especially if you know the physics of how deep it could possibly be, then you would know how to build something to go down there. Like it's
be logical. You need zero resources to access it. Like to get to the surface, you could practice in a fucking 30-foot deep pool. Yeah. They're trying to shoot into space and spend millions of dollars. Like that's mind blowing.
I know. Hold on, fuck. I got it right here. Hang on. I'm sorry, dude. I want you to look at observed UFO. Okay. In 2014, this is the video. It's called, in 2014, I snapped a clear picture of the famous Tic Tac video. But look, I'm about to turn the brightness up and show you on the camera. This, you got to think, this is the same fucking month that they come out with this shit. The white one is the one I took a picture of. The black one is the one that
My God.
the government put out. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that government one's a Tic Tac one, right? That's the one. There was a bunch of them little things around, right?
Yeah. And everybody's like,
my
oh,
God.
they were like, don't you think that's a blimp? I was like, bro, it was fucking cloudy. There was no moon out. There was no stars. It was glowing. The blimps, I ain't never seen a blimp fucking glow, and I ain't never seen it disappear out of nowhere either.
No. Well, a blimp wouldn't glow. The blimp would have lights around like the bottom, but it wouldn't have, the whole thing wouldn't be glowing.
It would still have traffic blinkers too, like air traffic blinking lights.
Do you know what the Enuma Elish is? I've never heard of it. I guess that's where the true origin site of humanity started. The Enuna Elish.
Enuna Elish.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Let me grab my. I'm gonna grab my book real quick. I gotta hang on.
Yeah, you're good. I don't believe we've ever been to the moon either. He said we've never been to the moon, bro. How can't we get past Van Allen radiation belt? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We go out of our ozone layer, through a radiation belt, and into the moon to go walk around the moon to put a fucking flag there. No. It's theatrical. Look at our CGI. Look at the abilities. Around the time that we landed on the moon is when CGI was making its entrance into the movies. It's the same thing you talk about. It's advertisement. You're not going to be able to advertise for NASA. Look, NASA's a company. NASA can't get money and donations and get all this funding unless they have people standing behind it wearing NASA shirts saying, woohoo, they go to space and explore things. No, it's a fucking smoke and mirrors.
Think about this. Based off what you just said, made me think of something. What if, and this is a what if scenario, guys. Don't up churches going crazy me, all right? So,
speculation.
Yeah. To speculate. So check it. Is there everywhere to go out there, or is there nowhere to go? The reason I say that is because don't you think it is a possibility they really, really have to make us believe in aliens? One, because it makes our brain think something's out there. Imagine if everyone knew there was nothing out there. Look up the definition of space, bro. The definition of space is an area of one point from point A to point B, and it's, volume and all that other shit. Keyword or key sentence, point A to point B. Where point A? Where the fuck is point B? If it's nothing out there and we can't get to the end of it and don't know the end, there is no point B. There's only point A, and then linear what? Not time, because if it never ends, there is no time. Time only exists here.
Yeah, so you can't have.
When you go super far out, you don't fucking age. Like in the fucking movie, that's dimensions.
Yeah, but is that real? Is that why they take old ass people to space then? Or they say they try to because they try to make you believe when they come back they're not any older?
I doubt that because we barely can get to the fucking moon. Like actually can barely get to the moon physically. Our timeline of going there proves that. But if we can't just get, yes, ma'am. I gotta run down the well, hold on 1 second.
You're good.
I'll be right back.
No, you're good. Yeah, so I don't know about all that. Space, moon, water, they all connect, in my opinion. The water is controlled by the moon. The moon is in space. We have never been to the moon. No way. Because if we'd been to the moon, we would already took over the moon and put fucking McDonald's and Walgreens on every corner. We're alien ant farm. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Alien ant farm. I think it's creeper. I think we was.
Hey, bro, I got to go take care of some shit. I will hop back on when I get back if you're still on.
Yeah, bet, man. I appreciate you jumping up.
Oh, yes, sir. I'll talk to you later, Bubba.
Yeah, for sure. Have a good one.
You too, buddy.
See ya. Yeah, man. I don't know if we've been to the moon. I think it's crazy because I feel like they would have already set some sort of moon station up rather than a space station. Why are you going to let something just float around in orbit around you and spin in circles when why? How can you control that? You can't control that. They want to control everything. They can't control that. It's impossible with the size of the known universe that we are only a planet with life forms. Yeah, I was talking to my wife. I said, what if we're in the bottom of another planet's ocean? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if our universe is actually so tiny and sitting somewhere else? You know what I mean? Damn moon McDonald's. The US government tried to send a missile to blow up the moon and something intercepted it before it got there because we needed the moon. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Clear. This is my theory about why they're here. They're here. Well, they've been here. This is their when that planet ran into our planet, when the planet collided with Earth and transferred all the water, it transferred everything from that planet. And that's where that bacteria, that artificial life form that created life as we know it. With all that created life in other aspects. It created humans. We were like their creation. They were created, we were created. It was like a war. You know what I mean? There was bacteria, there was extraterrestrial, there was all types of things going on then. The two planets just collided. You know what I mean? That created a moon, that created so many things. They said the moon was created from something that fell off but it's perfectly round. Like, I don't really believe that. Dude, I seen a video earlier that they said there is no satellites in space. Oh yeah. GPS, that's true. GPS doesn't work in a plane because satellites are on Earth. So once you get to a certain point in the sky, you're out of the range of. So you mean to tell me that they can shoot a rocket? They said there's some space, I forget what it was, a telescope, maybe some sort of measurement of space floating around. And it was going to be in space for 40 years still, and it's already been there for like 60 years or something. The thing's gonna be 100 years old flying through space. How does it have battery life? Like, it's generating power and it's communicating with. No, it's sending crystal clear pictures. Get out of here. I don't think it was an accident. All right, hold on. I gotta look this up. ENUMA. Here we go. Down the wormhole I go. You guys can listen to it because I'm not gonna. Let me see. ENUMA ELISH. Babylonian creation story. It was written on 7 tablets. What? In the 20th century. What? Yo, that's what I'm saying. How can all this knowledge be out about some of this stuff and nobody, like, people eating Tide Pods are trending? You know what I'm saying? Or like, this ain't news to nobody. People act like this shit's fucking, gotta get your tinfoil hat out. It's because people are afraid of the unknown. People don't want to. It's anxiety. That's fear of the unknown. Nobody wants to go to sleep at night with possible aliens controlling your every move. Like, they don't want to believe that. And it don't have to be an alien form. It could be, dude, there could be so much. Like, that's why I think AI, I think our technology is taken off so fast because we're influenced by something else. Something else is driving us to understand things better. And we're comprised of water. We eat a lot of salty foods. You know what I mean? We're creating a perfect environment, in my opinion, for communication through water, through, it's nuts. Hell, I would trust aliens more than I do our government. Mars was a moon. Yeah, I learned a lot of this stuff about these. I didn't realize that. Okay, hold on. Before we listen to what the summary and the analysis is of Enuma Elish, um, I think that Albert Einstein knew if he had the tools, and I heard somebody say this the other day too, and it's true. If Albert Einstein had the tools that we have now, and he was here now, yo, think of the possibilities. This dude figured out gravity. This dude figured out he's got the theory of teleportation through an Einstein's bridge, and they've proven that that's a possibility. That's a rewriting. You got to re-add the. Yeah, well, that's the thing. But they've created so if you have a bunch of people, this is what is confusing to me. So they want to create a bunch of sheep, right? That's what the government wants to create. But what if the people that, or the being, or the artificial intelligence that created us wanted everybody to know what it was, wanted everybody to be their own person, and they wanted everybody to understand whatever they felt like understanding. Like what if their design, what if the design that was once a plan is kind of not what it is? Like, you know what I'm saying? What if their design was to make us more like more individualized? Yeah, everybody hated Einstein. Everybody thought he was crazy. Everybody thought he was now his equations and his craziness actually allows people to go fast in race cars, and like they get it. Yeah, they call him. That's a good point, Clint. So listen to this. They call all these people. I talked about this the other night. They call all these gods, like the god of the sea, the god of this. What if those gods are actually literally, they were right. They were correct. Like everything was created in the ocean by a said extraterrestrial, not from Earth. Everything was created in. So in theory, check this out. People aren't going to like this, but I don't care. God, if God was never on Earth, he's in theory, by definition, extraterrestrial. So, no way. Yeah, we were made to be gods. So, if we're all individual products of a god, essentially, and if you look at time, like Ryan was saying, with time, and time is war, and in war is power. So, without time, wars take a lot of time, wars create a lot of power, or you lose a lot of power, right? So, a lot of these people that started us were essentially using power, time, to create us. And the more time that is created, the more power is created. So the more people that are put on earth, the more the population grows, the more power you have. Look at voting. The more votes you get, you become the president. The president of what? You know what I'm saying? Or the leader of what? What are you leading? A bunch of time. Because the president's leading the company or the country, but he don't control. If I go to work every day, he's going to kick, I'm not going to lose my job by the president, but he's still in control. It's power. Yo. And a lot of these leaders and a lot of these companies that are buying into the space programs, they want what? Power. Humans were alive during the dinosaurs. Yeah, but what could that? So look, Busy Boat said humans were alive, blah, blah, blah. What if the forbidden fruit was, I mean, who can say that the forbidden fruit wasn't something that the aliens said don't touch? Don't touch this, or the wrath of God is coming down on you. You know what I'm saying? Third eye, yeah, third eye. Tesla, look at Tesla. What do you say? Let's see. J-Hop said, I'm going to have to roll another one. Bro, listen. I creep myself out because everybody in here is sleeping. Cass is in bed. Braylon's sleeping. Braden's sleeping. The dog, the cat. Everybody's sleeping, bro. And I'm in full-on research mode about these damn aliens. And some of this shit is mind-blowing. Like when I found out about this Oumuamua, oh my goodness, it blew my mind. Here, let's see if I gotta see what this is. All right, this is the Babylonian. Is this right, Sin? The Babylonian?
What is up, peoples? Today we
No. I'm not going to do that. Let's see. I have a confusing thought which bothers me. What is it, the sweetest? Oumuamua. That's what I'm saying. Let me show you this. Listen to this video. I'm not going to play the video, but I'm going to play the audio. Listen to this. Hold on. I'm going to blow your mind. Let's see. Downloads. Where are my downloads at? Downloads. Come on, dude. There we go. I watch video. I listen to a video at work about if the earth stops spinning suddenly. Okay. There we go. Oumuamua. It's a brief. Where's it at? I just had it. They got a live world cam on it right now. Yeah, right. Get out of here. There's a video of it. It says live world cam. Come on. James Webb Telescope. No, get out of here. It said they just got video of it. Where's the video at? My bad, y'all. Super close and clear UFO. Yo, Ryan was right. That one looked just like the one. Oh my God, they're popping up everywhere. Dude, there's some controversial ones on here. What are you guys saying? Busy Boat, how are you? The big head, two-eyed alien we think of the Hollywood image. Yeah, I don't think so either, Busy. Where's Cindy at? Or book of... Okay, I got that. Hold on, let me pin that up here. Okay, hold on. I'm invested in this video right here. Hold on, dog. I got you. I downloaded the damn video. Here we go. It's over here. Right? Yeah. Downloads. It doesn't let me down. That's stupid. And it ain't in the computer either. There you go.
And Oumuamua has... It's been long thought that there are objects out in space moving around between stars, and sometimes they can pass through our solar system, and not long ago, something from deep space made a surprise visit. Some say this visitor was a comet, or maybe an asteroid, but another astronomer strongly believes it's something completely different. Was it the splintered remains of an exoplanet? Or was this interstellar visitor some kind of alien spacecraft in disguise? And why do some believe this? On October the 19th, 2017, the very first known interstellar object to enter our solar system was detected by astronomers using the Pan-STARRS Observatory in Maui, Hawaii, a big telescope equipped with one of the world's largest digital cameras with almost 1.4 billion pixels. What they saw was a small point of light flashing through our solar system like a beacon from a lighthouse, not typical of an asteroid or a comet. In fact, it was something no one had ever seen before. Astronomers named it Oumuamua, which means a messenger from afar arriving first. And at the time,
Yo, they named this thing a messenger from afar. And this thing is speeding up and flying faster than anything in orbit. Come on.
they believed it was some kind of elongated cigar-shaped object tumbling through space because of the way it changed brightness. It was
Changed
estimated to be
brightness.
bigger than the Eiffel Tower, some 1,312 feet long and 130 feet thick. It wasn't discovered until it was on its way out of our solar system, 40 days after passing the closest point to the Sun on September the 9th, 2017. And it was moving incredibly fast, about 196,000 miles per hour. And the way it was whipping around the Sun told scientists that this object had to have come from somewhere beyond our solar system. The object flew past the Earth so fast that its speed couldn't be from gravity of the Sun alone. In fact, the Sun had nearly no influence on this unknown object as it hurtled through our solar system. The strange thing about Oumuamua is it's not an asteroid, and it doesn't look anything like your ordinary comet. However, it behaves like a comet. Comet's a small, icy body.
What behaves like a comet? Freaking UFOs. They behave like comets, right? They come hurling. They don't really have a sense of direction.
That develop tails made of volatile materials seen vaporizing off the comet's body from the heat of the Sun. It just so happens that the second interstellar object discovered in our region of space in 2019, Comet 2I Borisov, behaved and acted like a normal comet did, and this made Oumuamua look even stranger. Astronomers were unable to explain Oumuamua's movements through space by the force of gravity alone. Some researchers believed that Oumuamua was jetting out gas from the sunlit side that would push the object like a rocket. However,
Well, Claire, think about what Ryan was saying. If you go to space, time doesn't exist in space. Like time is different in space. So if this thing flew ahead in time, right? It is recon. It's doing recon of the Sun, I believe, right? If it flew at the Sun and whipped around the Sun and flew up out and took back off again.
problem with this is there was no detectable escaping gas, no tail like you would see from a typical comet. Not only that, the push seen from Oumuamua was stronger than what scientists would have expected to see from any other ordinary comet, and it was a continuous push. If cometary outgassing is ruled out, and then inferred excess force is real, then only one possibility remains, and we'll get to that in a moment. The way in which the object accelerated had many believing it was an alien spacecraft, perhaps some kind of extraterrestrial probe powered by some internal power source.
There you go. Look, powered by some internal power source. So it knows that it essentially, maybe it's not flying, right? I don't know if you could call it in space. Would you call it flying? I guess it would still be flying there. But it's powered by some external power source. It doesn't know what it is. It's an unidentified aerial phenomenon, right? They don't know what it is. But they know it's a rock. They know it's shaped like a pancake. Get out of here.
Strange thing is that no one had a clue to what solar system it came from or how old the interstellar visitor is, because it was traveling so fast that no telescope could grab a decent enough image to give us an idea of what it really looked like or what it was made out of. This greatly added to the mystery. Some researchers have come to exotic conclusions to what this first interstellar visitor could have been and where it might have come from. A Harvard professor of astronomy by the name of Avi Loeb said that Oumuamua is indeed an alien spacecraft, which is powered by a light sail, the method of propelling a spacecraft using radiation pressure given off by the sun or huge mirrors. The only way to make sense of Oumuamua's strange acceleration without resorting to some sort of undetectable outgassing is to assume that the object was propelled by solar radiation by photons bouncing off its surface. and the only way the object could be propelled by solar radiation is if it were no thicker than a millimeter and have a very low density with a large surface area.
Yeah, I didn't know that. You can't, it has to be super thin and super light with barely any density in order not to absorb heat. Like, oh, that's pretty crazy.
This object could function as a sail powered by light rather than by wind. Such an object could be produced by nature, leaving the only other explanation that Oumuamua must have been designed, built, and launched by an extraterrestrial intelligence. He further explained that the non-gravitational acceleration is a sign of deliberate maneuvering, and Oumuamua has no comet tail showing any outgassing.
Right.
There's no way of proving or disproving this theory, and a claim like this one from an experienced and well-respected astronomer is very unusual. But another theory has now surfaced that might explain what Oumuamua really is. It's now believed the object could be like a pancake or a giant cookie-shaped piece of debris, a piece of shrapnel from an exoplanet like Pluto. In 2021, 2 Arizona State researchers published a pair of papers arguing that the object could be a hydrogen iceberg. These researchers think that some space object hit the planet where Oumuamua originated from, and the violent collision sent the chunk of planet careering towards our solar system around
Misty, this guy makes the intensity so much better, though.
400 to 500 million years ago.
Right, Claire.
In the beginning of discovery, researchers thought it might be a long, thin, cigar-shaped object tumbling end over end, and something unknown appeared to be making Oumuamua move faster, as if something was pushing on it. But now, researchers think they understand this strange visitor, and it is neither an asteroid or a comet. No one is certain what Oumuamua is made of, so scientists calculated the different kinds of ice that would change from solid to gas at a rate that accounted for Oumuamua's rocket effect, and concluded that the object must be made of nitrogen ice, the same stuff you'd find on the surface of Pluto or Neptune's moon, Triton. And here's a big surprise. Our first interstellar visitor actually entered the solar system way back in 1995. As it got closer to our solar system, and therefore the sun, the chunk of planet started losing layers of frozen nitrogen. By the time we discovered it, the object had already lost 95% of its mass, melting into the small chunk that was detected. So maybe after all, it isn't some type of alien technology.
Yo, how do we know that? Did you hear what that thing just said? That we saw the planet that came into the area late. It was already melted. It was just a little tiny rock when we found it. How do you know that? You know that? Get out of here. What's up, Becky B? Yeah, that it is sus, but I don't understand how they knew. We got all these things looking in the sky. They know what the fuck's up there. They know what's up there. They know very well what's up there. They ain't concerned about what's up there. They want to, it's like they're trying to win a prize from whatever's up there. First person to discover them gets to own them. It's like, that's what we've become as humans. Like their reasoning to find extraterrestrials and a normal person's reasoning to find it are two different. Like they want to find it to be able to make money off of it. They want to find it to harvest it for some, you know what I mean? They want those flying Jetson cars. Look at the Jetsons. The Jetsons was before its time. Talked about, flying around in space.
But the idea of a piece of an exoplanet flying through our solar system is still exciting, if not downright scary, depending on where it's headed. Right now, the object is leaving our solar system and will leave our solar system and enter interstellar space in the late 2030s, never to return again. But there is something called Project Lyra, which develops concepts for reaching interstellar objects like Oumuamua. The goal of the project is to see if it's possible to send tiny spacecraft to intercept.
Bro, I watched a video about this tiny spacecraft that they're talking about building. You want to talk about a giant waste of money. They're spending so much on the spacecraft that they could give all of us a little chunk. I mean, this is crazy. What are they going to find out? That's what my point is. It's monetizational value. They want to make money off it. If they fly to this rock, for $50 billion. And they realize this freaking rock is a rock. It's a rock that just so happens to not get bothered by the sun. And when it gets close to certain things, how are we going to find out? If we don't know, you know what I'm saying? If we don't even know what it is, how are we going to figure out what it is? That's mind blowing to me that we waste that much money to do something like that.
And study interstellar objects. But the challenge to catch a Muamua is formidable. This is because it's moving at 5.5 astronomical units per year. That's 465 million miles. And it will be beyond Saturn's orbit very soon. This is
It'll be beyond Saturn's orbit very soon, but we're about yeah. Come on in. Pause it. It's paused.
Well, they can't hear me.
Oh no, hold on.
All right.
Hold on, they can hear you. Cass is getting in the shower. Mama Bear's getting in the shower, and a little Nugget won't go to sleep. So if little Nugget comes in here and interrupts our space talk, she's getting in trouble. That's what she can get. Okay. Anyway. What's up, Vinny? Hold on. I'll take a break from that for a minute. Yo, that's crazy. It's almost over anyway, but that's crazy. I feel like they make this type of stuff to make us feel comfortable about believing that there's nothing there. I think the government is keeping people's attention on space while the actuals are more concerned and actually have something they can explore. Yeah, the ocean, bro. This is what I'm saying. Like, when I learned about, does everybody understand? And this might not be 100% true, but I believe it's true. It says that the asteroid that supposedly, if you believe that there were dinosaurs here, killed the dinosaurs, made impact in what is now the Gulf of Mexico. And that's why the Gulf of Mexico is so abundant of oil. That's why there's so much oil in the Gulf. That's why the Gulf flourishes with coral reefs and so on and so forth. So the theory is that when that hit here, it created, and I said this before, it created a form of life. They think that is why a lot of the fish in the deep parts of our ocean glow in very similar ways to fish in the deep sea, because they're mimicking a life form from space, which is a dark place. The bottom of the ocean is a dark place. That life transferred into the ocean and created a form of life. Think the government, consider where the knowledge is coming from. Yeah, but knowledge, I think we all have an infinite amount of knowledge. It's just how you open your brain up to listen to it, like to understand it. You have to understand the knowledge you're given in order to retain it. You know what I mean? You can't, to know, we don't know what we don't know. You know what I'm saying? But if we know it, we know it. There's a lot of people, there's people in this chat that work jobs that I don't know how to do. But at the same time, I do things that they don't know how to do. But all it takes is being taught something, being shown something. So if you take it as everything has a possibility, if it's not just an opinion. Like if there's knowledge to back something up, then you can't just call it an opinion. Just because you don't believe it, or just because it's been proven not to always happen that way. See, that's the thing. You're not always going to lose your arm if you stick your arm where it says not to stick your arm. You know what I mean? But there's a chance that you put your arm there at the wrong time or something happens that you're going to lose your arm. So you can't throw a theory out because it's only happened once or twice or 3 times. People like to throw opinions and theories out because they don't believe in it. They haven't researched enough to understand it. They haven't watched and documented and done enough in their life about that topic to understand it. So they immediately throw it out. Then you have open-minded people that accept different opinions and they want to hear different opinions. And I believe those people have a broader range of knowledge. Like they understand more, like a jack of all trades. Like, you know a little bit about a whole lot of things, and there's some things you're really good at and some things you're okay at. But for the most part, you understand life. Like, I don't know, an open mind. With an open mind, you're able to okay, check this out. There's people that don't like the internet. They don't like technology. They don't participate in it whatsoever. They're lacking a dimension, right? So if you're closed off, if they close you off to only be a certain way, then everybody would think the same. Everybody would only agree on the same things. Like they don't want an opinionated person. Do I believe the info? I don't know what info you're talking about. What info do you talk about? Hold on. This freaking. Does anybody know what the thing Cindy was talking about? The name of that freaking video? Oh yeah, it's right here. No, that's Elon Musk. Here we go. Elish.
What is up, peoples?
Okay.
Today,
ENUMA. Because I've already said I want to find where. So if this planet did run into us, right? We know this asteroid hit in the Gulf, supposedly, and created the Yucatan Peninsula. And right? Yeah, the Yucatan. And if the planet ran into the Earth, where did the planet run into the Earth, right? I wonder if this is where. In the 7 tablets.
Now we're going to go over the Enuma list, the 7 tablets of creation. Now the
This is too long to watch. I'll confuse everybody here. This is something. Let me save this. 7 tablets of creation. So there's a list of tablets that explain our creation. I don't believe anything from the government anymore. Yeah, I don't either. I don't even really listen to that shit, man. Like a lot of the stuff that goes on in the world, I used to, but I don't even pay attention. The only way I'll know is if I see it come across the YouTubes. I don't really care what they say. There's some danger lurking down there. Where, in the ocean? How would many like okay, Carl, let me run this. You explain this one to me. We launch a rocket into space where you can't breathe there. There's tremendous amounts of pressure. And if your vessel or any of your equipment fails, you die. The ocean, it's very deep. It's very dark. It's very, there's a lot of pressure and you can't breathe down there. So my point is, the ocean and space are not far apart whatsoever. You got to think, lightning, when a storm happens in the sky, is rain and electricity, right? Water, when a storm happens, it's still water and electricity. It ain't no different. Like the similarities of space and the ocean to me are there's so many of them. Is there rain in space? That's what I would want to know. Like, I know that might sound like a stupid question, but if precipitation is created from a comet, like comets have moisture, that's what the trails that burn off when they're approaching the sun. So they spend all this time staring up in the sky at a bunch of things that it sounds like they understand pretty well. You can't get there for the most part. You can send rockets and shit there, but why can't we send rockets down into the ocean? Why does it have to be, dude? There's planes that fly on their own into battle. They, not drones, bombers, B-21s. These things are stealth bombers flying into battle, carrying weapons and blowing things up, all while being concealed, all while going faster than any other plane with nobody in them. So what is our problem about the water again? I forgot. It's too wet. I mean, look, that thing just blew up under the water, right? That dude made that at his house. I mean, maybe not his house, but that was man-made. They've been down and seen the Titanic on plenty of other vessels, plenty of other times, and I'm pretty sure they've done it with robots too. And most of those times, those are funded by some investors, rich investors, no different than NASA. So you mean to tell me we spend all this money shooting rockets up in the air that we can't retrieve? If the rocket goes too far, who's going to go get that motherfucker? Nobody. If the rocket into the ocean goes too far, well, maybe when we go a little farther on our exploration next time, we'll hook that thing with a strap. Yeah, no. That's why I said about waiting. So, but yo, I don't know, man. I believe alien life form definitely is here. I think that it's been here. I think that the reason we don't look in the oceans is because they already know it's in the oceans. I think that it is being protected in space. I think that the satellites that Elon Musk puts out and all these satellite communication things that are out are there to prevent anything from breaking into our atmosphere and coming for those aliens. Like, I think if we ever had an alien infestation where it was war against aliens, they wouldn't be here for us. They would not be here for us. It would be another universe coming to try to wipe out whatever extraterrestrial life form was inhabiting the earth. My father was definitely an alien. Well, maybe I'm an alien. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm part alien. And that's why I understand it. I just don't think it's possible that we could get to a moon, but we can't get to the bottom of the ocean. You'll never explain that to me. The pressure from going. So what that means is that means that you could essentially, if you could get to the moon, then there should be no reason you couldn't get to the freaking bottom of the ocean. Because, like I said, pressure, what else changes? There's heat. There's not cold. You got cold. You got cold water, no oxygen, and that's it, right? Dark. You got hot air, freezing temperatures, and then it's dark. No, I mean, there's not much of a difference. What up, Jarek? The UFO would have to have some kind of system like a sub, you know what I mean? But a lot of weight to fly, and somehow they're silent moving. Yeah, but UFOs have been proved, that's shown that they shoot right down into the water. And Ryan made a great point. Like, the G's it takes to transfer from flying through the air and hitting the water, they have to have some sort of material that is resistant to G-force. But that's not out of the question. Like, okay, check this out. before nuclear technology was nuclear technology, before we had nuclear power plants, it was said that we will never, ever, science said that we will never be able to contain a nuclear atom. We'll never be able to harness its energy ever. It will kill you. The radiation, the power of it is unmatched. We have nuclear reactors every day that are running all day. So what they said was not possible due to science is actually very possible, and it is something that is done every single day. All right, Texan, have a good night. They get hot in subs. Well, they get hot in subs because there's no ventilation and their oxygen is recycled and they're stuck in a air pocket under the ocean. If they were exposed to that water, they would be freezing because sunlight doesn't penetrate it. And from my understanding, the only way that heat is generated is from the sun. So if the sun can't penetrate it with ultraviolets, then there's a good if it's dark down there and there's no light, it's going to be freezing cold. But why is it not cold enough to freeze? Yeah, worked on nuclear power plants. That's what's up, Jarek. So nuclear power plants, we harnessed nuclear energy, something they said could not be done. Who, like, that's mind blowing to me. Who woke up one morning and said, you know what? Today I'm going to catch a radioactive nuclear molecule and I'm going to create energy from it. That's why I think that our knowledge goes further than just us. I don't think you can't teach somebody something that nobody knows. So how do they know it? How is it already programmed into your brain to know to build a nuclear power plant to keep up with the amount of people that are coming? It goes back to what Ryan said. Maybe they already see what's going to be needed. Maybe they understand that we're going to need nuclear power in order to generate enough power to keep people alive. So they make sure they put it into place. Yeah, that's true. I'm saying, no, I'm not. I'm not applying human reactions to aliens, Mom. I'm saying as humans, we go to space and it's freezing cold in space. You can't breathe in space. And we explore on the damn moon with moon suits on, but they don't fucking put scuba tanks on and swim around on the bottom of the ocean floor, putting American flags and counting down backwards from the sub launch. They don't give a shit about the ocean, is what my point is. It's the same atmospheres. It's the same. You're not going to have it's going to be the same problems, but I can get up and get in my car and drive to the ocean and get on a boat right now. Nobody can get up, get in their car and drive to the space station and launch off into space when they want to. It doesn't work that way. So if I'm a business, NASA's a business. So if I'm thinking business wise, hey, what's the easiest thing to understand without having to spend the most amount of money? It would be the ocean. It'd be where I would start at least figure out what's down there. And then if you don't find anything, then move on to space. Like they completely skipped the chain of command. They went straight to the fucking shooting to the rockets to the moon. We're not meant to be in space. Yeah, well, of course we're not meant to be under the ocean either, Clary. You know what I'm saying? If we defy the laws of physics, like that's where it is. It comes back to math. Mathematical equations are what gets you to space. Mathematical equations are what gets you to the bottom of the ocean floor. You know what I mean? And they teach you in school that math is going to be used everywhere in your whole life. And everyone's like, I never use math. Well, yeah, but we're probably supposed to. Yeah, it's the size of a football. NASA's not real. Space is fake, homie. I know. Well, I don't know if it's fake. All right. So if space is fake, then what the hell are we sitting in? Where are we at? I'll argue that for a second. If space is fake, where are we at? What are we in? Too bad you can't have gas pressure without a container. We're in a container? He said, and I get what you're saying, but that's what an ozone layer is. I just think there's a reason for that. There's things we shouldn't know because it's not our business. Possibly. I don't know, though. It would be pretty dope to smoke a joint with an alien. Like, be like, hey, bro, what have you been doing up there? What have you been rolling around doing up there? You're riding around that UFO for the last 3,000 years. You know what I'm saying? You could have came and kicked it a long time ago, dog. That would be pretty dope. Ozone layer is gas. How do we know aliens are from space? Maybe that's what we've already been there, Becky B. You're late. You must have joined us late. I do think that's where they're at. I think when that planet ran into the side of the freaking Earth, that's what happened. Those extraterrestrials that were living on that planet became one with our planet, and their life is in the ocean. Their planet was an ocean planet, and when they ran into our planet, they inhabited our oceans. Hence the movie Abyss. Hence the movie Waterworld. Like, if you go back in history, Abyss, bro, the water was the alien. Like, the water could take form, and dude, they stopped making sci-fi movies because they didn't want people to believe in sci-fi anymore. We don't live on a planet, bro. Where do we live on? We're a waiting room until we learn to behave. It's possible, I guess. We're like avatars. Yeah. Look at Avatar. Look at the movie Avatar. That's a great example. They live in a different dimension. They're in a different dimension. The moon, okay. The moon, I can see the moon controls the water. The moon is in space. So space controls the water. You know what I'm saying? And if space controls the water, then that's a no-brainer. If salt water is such an a conductor and fresh water is such an insulator, if you're trying to generate and harness energy, water would be a great spot. Nothing is in space. Space is fake. Well, where's the moon? Where's the sun? Where did the sun come from? Now I think we're reaching. Because if you can't say the sun's real, what generates heat? What generates? There's just a heater. Just got a heater. Not in a sky vacuum. Oh boy. Do you mean some Truman? Hey, do you want me to play an Upchurch song while I go check on Braylon real quick? Which one y'all want? I got one for you, actually. I got a good one for you. Yo, I'll be driving people at work nuts with this one right here. You ready? You better be. Baby, I'm trouble. Baby, I'm trouble for you. Baby, I'm a rebel, rebellious fool. I like riding around town, never window down. Morning, not knocking, but the smoke too loud. I'm trouble for you. Hey, do the dash and a second gen Cummins. Got the tats in the trailer park emoji bubble like the heat of the summer. Burning weed, time and rubber. When it's down,
I'm that local motherfucker, universal to a couple underground and made some channels. Not a subject to the system, but a system to the subject. Ever around and slung my D on the desk of what's what. Told my teacher fuck off and got an A++. Blow retarded, twin turbo in a short bus. 5% on the window when it's cambered in the front. No deal, driveway still got 30 hot bills for selling the music. No price tag on my head. I'm trouble for you. Baby, I'm a rebellious fool. I like riding around town, never window down. Morning, knocking, but
Yo, that track goes so hard. If the earth was flat, how do we not get to an edge and fall off? Well, what if you couldn't reach the edge? What if the edge was never like, what if the water went further than you could imagine? I mean, I know that might sound crazy, but how come water doesn't fall off? Like, how come if we're spinning, I know people will say gravity, but I don't know. I guess we would. I guess it makes sense that it's not flat, because how can you would be able to, like, it would make sense to have an arch. A plane wouldn't, like flight, I don't know. Hard to explain. We're not spinning, she said. Gravity doesn't exist. You can deny your senses all you want because you have seen. Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense. The edge could be an ice wall. Yeah, I guess that could be a possibility. I don't know, though. And you can see the other planets around. Yeah, and you could see the moon's round. And you can see that the moon goes down. I mean, the sun goes down. Where does the sun go? If the sun goes completely down. So if it's flat, that means the sun goes down, floats just a random circle, and then comes back up over here. And then how do you have a difference in time and difference in seasons? It's round. It's round. Every piece of equipment from the multi-trillion-dollar military. Flat, non-rotating Earth. The sun and moon aren't moving. We are. Right. I know. Yeah. An asteroid another planet tilted the planet. That's what I'm saying. Another planet ran into our planet, essentially hitting our planet at just the right angle and setting it into orbit. Right. And that's what created life. And I believe that that's the most plausible thing. We're not moving through space, though. No, we're moving in our own galaxy. We're moving in our own pocket of space, which that's weird to me too, because that means if we're in space, we're in space of space, because you can't. Oh man, that's mind blowing. It's even on their website saying we're in a flat, non-spinning Earth. Yo, ain't that crazy though? I mean, I can't say you're wrong. Maybe we are on a flat Earth. I will never know. I don't go out and freaking look at the planet from space that a few people have said doesn't exist. But I think something exists outside of us, because how can you say, okay, if space doesn't exist, then aliens don't exist. If aliens don't exist, then asteroids hitting the planet and stars and all this shit that you can see Where does that? What is that on a wallpaper? You know what I'm saying? Is it? And they were able to mask the fact that nothing that we see with our own eyes in front of our own face is real whatsoever. I believe the movie The Truman Show showed us a lot. Yeah, if you've really been to space, Clary, that theory only works if they've really been to space. But if they've got images that were created through a computer that were round and this is from space, and they told everybody that this is space, we would all believe it, right? Because that's what we're told. None of us are going to go, like, that's what I'm saying. School teaches you that in order to believe something, there has to be there has to be proof, and that's their proof. So they're trying to say, believe it because we're showing you. Now I want to see it from my own eyes. Yeah, he's got a point, Clary. There is a curve indicating it's round when you look towards the horizon on the beach. Yeah, but I can argue this. Is it a curve in the horizon or is it a curve in your eyesight? Like, is it a curve in the, because your eyes are round too. So, like, is it just a fall of a curve at the end of a line? I mean, I don't know. Some astronauts are legit. Maybe. If astronauts are legit, how come normal people can't go? How come, like, how come they could spend all this money? Where are all these people at the space station? They live at the space station. I seen the space station. The space station looks like two little freaking satellite things. How you live in that? There's people living there. Who's living there? You can't have a curved horizon. That's a contradiction. Yeah, he's got a point. Because if the okay, so if the sun's going down here and it's a curved horizon, then you would think you should still see the sides of the sun, right? I don't know. 2 tin cans. I just think it's an optical illusion. I don't know about the earth being flat. That's a different conversation for a different night, I guess. But I believe that artificial intelligence was created. AI, I believe AI, the only reason we know how to do AI is because of extraterrestrial life, alien life form. I don't think if we're able to control vehicles without somebody driving them, that's shit that's outside of a human's knowledge. Like, we've proven over generations of time that we're getting smarter, but yet the smart abilities that we use, it's like a genie. It's like you get an opportunity to make a wish, and most people say, I want a car, I want all the money in the world, I want this and I want that. They don't try to better anything, right? So it's the same idea with knowledge. Rather than using the knowledge to better our earth or better our situations, which they're going to use that, use smart cars, use battery powered cars, use self-driving cars because they're better for the environment. It's not true. They're actually worse for the environment. They're worse but we're going to run out of oil eventually, and it's all a calculated plan. You know what I'm saying? But who is calculating it? Who knows how much oil there is? If I control the amount of oil, or if I know the amount of oil, if I know that my creation is going to run out of oil here soon, I'm going to figure out how to keep them going. You know what I mean? So like an ant farm, like an alien ant farm, right? Their end goal is to create a population or a colony, and they don't want us to fail. So they try to guide us into making the better decisions for our environment or for us as individuals overall, but we don't make the right decisions to better our earth. We make the wrong decisions. So that's where I think the difference is. I think that humans have flaws that our creator can't fix. So that goes to like church. That goes back to like the faith, have faith, try to better yourself. What if religion was created as a form of acceptance of a control? I hate to say it like that because I believe that something created is. I'll never know what it was. I believe that you can believe whatever you want. And that's kind of where I keep it. I have an open mind to how we got here. I don't think that one alien essentially, and that's what if God is an extraterrestrial, because God, right? Let's just use this hypothetically. If God is something that's not on Earth, that means God is outside of Earth's atmosphere, whatever. Then he would be an alien. So that means aliens created life. So maybe, I mean, just maybe that's what happened. Oh, hold on. I got to do something for Cass. She's got an issue. I got it. 5 minutes. Yeah, so I don't know. I think that we all are. Yeah, I got you, babe. I think that we all are. I'm not going to be on here much longer either. I'm about to get off. But I think that we all. I think that's where I think Ryan's right. I think deja vu. I think reincarnation. I think all that spirits. When I don't think that they're not real. I think spirits are just lost in a, like you heard the saying, lost souls. I don't know if that can be a negative thing. I think it's just we're like repopulated and regenerated, reprogrammed, kind of like a computer. Once a computer gets so full of nonsense and it can't take it and it gets full of viruses, then it gets wiped out and start over. But it can sometimes remember some of its old traits, but it doesn't know, you know what I mean? I think we're all pretty much designed like computers. Braylon was just throwing a fit in there though. Those things are real. We just don't see it with our human eyes. Amber, that's crazy you said that because I was talking about that. What if the other dimensions of life, we just can't see? What if they exist? What if there's way more in front of our eyes than we actually can see? And maybe we're designed to never know. Like maybe we are very similar to a computer to where it's just, we're here. We do what we're designed to do. And then when we can't do it anymore, it's a restart. Your body is gone, but your spirit lives on, type of deal. And maybe back in the day, there was such hysteria because there was so much unknown. There wasn't communication like we have, or maybe there was a civilization that was way more complex than we could ever imagine. And it's just no longer here anymore. And what proof could we have? Bones and artifacts, you know what I mean? That's all that's going to be left, depending on what type of catastrophic event takes them out. If water takes them out, water destroys everything. And depending on what they have, who knows? Look at the pyramids. Ryan put a great example of those. I believe those were in the water. I believe those pyramids were created in the water. That's why they were created using the things that were resistant to water. They wanted pieces of material that could be in the water, and they were created in a place that they knew eventually was not going to be water, right? And that's why they still stand. Look up the Einstein quote where he says, there are no terrestrial experiments that prove the earth is moving. I like a lot of what Einstein had to say, because he was right about a lot of it. Like, a lot of people gave him shit for what he said, but he proved that he was right, man. He might not have been here to find out, but he was right. He was right about a lot of the stuff he said. Was he wrong about some of it? Maybe. Who knows? People have proved him wrong about things, but who really knows? At the end of the day, we're all idiots. There's so much that we will never know, that we can never try to compare ourselves to the knowledge of another person, because you don't live the same life. Like, I try to be really careful when I bash somebody based off what they know or what I think they know, because they might just not have had to learn some of the things that I understand. They might know a whole bunch of other shit that I don't even comprehend. You know what I mean? And that's where these smart people, I think, have a little bit of an advantage. Like Tesla, a good example. I believe he's so smart that he'll use, and is it smart, or is it greed? But he'll use his knowledge as power. Like, he don't even care about the money. I feel like that dude is so smart and already has a good idea. Maybe he's somebody that guides us. You know what I mean? Think of it like that. Maybe not everybody, but maybe that dude is sent here as a way to guide our knowledge, to try to better our earth. You know, maybe he is by design created to get the attention that it's created. Yeah, like guided spirits. Like, what if everybody's kind of put in place for a reason? And I believe in shit like that. So that makes a lot of sense to me. Like, okay, Ryan said that he was able to kind of like sense something bad was happening. He was able to predict some, calling the Island Boys out and calling them whatever. That was essentially a silly, but it was a piece of time. It was a moment of time. He was able to put his finger on, or possibly predict, a moment of time. Is it a big deal? Not really, because it's, who cares? It's the Island Boys. But what if that's the extent? Like, our minds are so much stronger, and we're only allowed so much knowledge, but every now and then we kind of break free of that. You know what I mean? There can't be a coincidence. It's got to be a plan. There's got to be a design. We all don't get up every day and build these infrastructures and build this life that we're building for the next, and so on and so forth for no reason. Like, everything has a purpose. We all have some sort of purpose. And a lot of people maybe never achieve their purpose on earth. And that's where I think reincarnation comes into play. I think you're continuously filtered back into society until you fulfill whatever your purpose at life is. So, like, if your purpose on life is to create a contraption to catch water from a waterfall, to power every computer in the world. Like, if that's what you were designed to do, then they'll continue to generate you back on earth until you fulfill your goal. And sometimes I think that's where more people come into play. That's where I think the generation of more people come into play, because tasks become bigger, things become bigger to do. You have more people that control, more people to police, more people to, and I don't mean police like the police, but to keep in line and to keep the world going. So you have to invoke leaders and people with more knowledge of things that we've ever had. That's why you get these people that come in that have never done these jobs and go, oh yeah, you move this, and that. The whole thing works and you generate power for this whole town. Like, how did that person know that? Listen to Jesus. Yeah, but that doesn't make it okay. Look, I'm not gonna go down that road with you, bud. But to me, I do believe I have a cross on my neck. I believe in a higher power. But what I'm saying is we're idiots to believe that all this was created from I guess we're not idiots to believe, because I keep saying it. If Jesus lived on earth, but God didn't, then that means God is freaking an alien. I believe every individual serves a purpose, so I don't stop looking. Yeah, that's facts, Mike Sons. Mike Sons is an independent artist. I think he's pretty new to the game, and he's going to be making his way in here soon. I want to get him on an interview, talk to him about what's to come. But yeah, no, I believe that too, man. I believe we're all here for a reason. We're all guided to the people that we surround ourselves with. Like, friendships are more than just, to me, friendships aren't just a title. Like, when you're a friend with somebody, you support your friend, you respect your friend. Like, it's not just a title, because later on in life, the friendships that you create now are the building blocks for the future. Like, they really are. Comfortability, like if you look at generations, like, as you get older, you don't have as many friends as you did when you were a kid. You start to filter out people grow up, people grow apart. So the friendships that you gain when you become an adult, hold value to those, because those friendships are what build the building blocks for generations to come. Like, that's why I think parents are so happy to see their kids playing with their friends' kids and growing up around their friends' kids, because it allows knowledge. Knowledge for me comes from the people you surround yourself with. Once you stop learning in school, the people that you put in your life are what is going to allow you to learn. If you surround yourself around a bunch of people that don't want to learn, that don't care to try new things, that don't care to go outside their comfort zone and do things that other people might think is silly or whatever it may be, you'll never learn. Like, you can't learn how to draw if you don't draw. You can't learn how to do math if you don't do math. Like, these things that people, it doesn't stop in school, is what my point is. And it doesn't stop. I learn new shit every day. I pick and choose what I allow myself to learn. You know what I mean? As humans, that's what we do. Your interests are important. I try to tell my son this all the time. You need to be interested in something. You need to have some sort of drive to, even if you want to be the best knot tire, you know what I mean? Have an interest in it and be knowledgeable about it, because your knowledge on that 10 years from now might be the only knowledge there is, might be the best knowledge there is. You can't predict the future. Some people can predict the future, I guess, but for the most part, you have to do everything today in order to have a good future. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to make sure all your ducks are in a row right now in order to have a productive future. So I don't worry about what I think about today and what I think about yesterday or the day before. I'm worried about right now. Like, keep your mind open, keep your sense of creativity alive. You know what I mean? Be that little kid again. Draw silly ass pictures. Draw, if you want to draw something, and most people are going to laugh at you for drawing a butterfly with feet or a butterfly, and you know what I mean? Draw whatever. Be creative. Creative people have, in my opinion, better personalities. They have more coping abilities, because when you start doing something, you're not going to be great at it, and you're going to get better. You're going to learn that you're going to fail. You're going to fail in life more than you're going to be successful. You know what I mean? 100%. So if you get good at failing, success starts to become easy. If we live today right, our past will always look good. Your past is always your past. You can't ever make it your future. It's always going to be in the past. That's why I really like what Ryan talked about time. Because that's one thing that everybody wants more of, time. We all want more time. More time at home, more time at life, more time. We always want more time. So what if the person that or the entity that controls time is what created us? Father Time, right? And there's things that kind of point to it. There's references, words, things. Look at the definitions we looked up today. Go back and listen to some of them and really think about it. Like, how can all of our knowledge be opinionated off of life? Like it said, animals and plants, a lot of our knowledge is just an opinion on its environments. So we're essentially living off of somebody's an opinion. We're using somebody's an opinion. We're using perception of another person, an opinion of another person to dictate what we believe in. I won't ever allow that to happen. I learned things I knew, and then I learned things I didn't. I'll never forget this saying. We don't know what we don't know. 100%. Yeah, I see my 5-minute warning. I got it. But we don't know what we don't know. I'm going to finish with that. Really think about everything you know, and then think about all the shit you don't know, man. Sometimes it's better to expand your knowledge. It's better to open up your mind to new ideas, rather than stew on the same repetitive shit every day. It's not sometimes, it's always better to. I get out of my comfort zone all the time. I think that new ideas and different thoughts and different opinions are essential for growth. So I appreciate you guys. Ryan, thanks for coming up and chatting with me. It was pretty dope. Yeah, I want to start doing different things. Like I'm going to continue to do my reactions. I'm going to continue to do my interviews, but I want to do different things on the channel. I want to talk about ghosts. I want to talk about aliens. I want to talk about welding. I originally created the channel and I wanted to weld on it. I kind of got sidelined from doing that for a while, but eventually that's going to happen. And I know not everybody's going to be interested in this stuff, but I don't really care. I think it's important for me to talk about the things that I want to be remembered by, the things that I want other people to know me by, and document those things. You know what I mean? If I want to do true crime, I'll do true crime. If I want to do ghost hunting, I'll do ghost hunting. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to try to, I'm going to also start reaching out a little bit to creators that do stuff like that, like ghost hunting. If that's your thing and you're a content creator and that's opening myself up to new ideas, to new things. You know what I'm saying? I think it's my responsibility as a person to show, like, I feel like the more people are comfortable with trying new things, the better this earth will be. We'll have better service at everything in life. You'll be more comfortable getting new jobs. You'll be more comfortable trying new things, man. And I'll continue to do it. That's what I'm going to do. I love y'all. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. And remember, be nice to one another. I'm going to end it with a song for y'all. And I'm gone. This is for D. Libby. Shout out to T2, Kalani on the Beaten Up Church. This whole album is straight fire. Love y'all. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I'm out.
You can tell I'm a lone star. I ride around in my own car. but I don't really ever go far. Future bright like Ace on a moped. Hey, you can tell I'm a lone star. 3 a.m. still pumping on the outskirts. Taking outside the box Chevy. On God, spit flames like the devil in a hot rod. I'm a lone star. Outside the box Chevy. On God, spit flames like the devil in a hot rod. I'm a lone star. Outside the box Chevy. On God, spit flames like the devil in a hot rod. I don't need a Grammy now. I don't need no Xannies. Now more keys and Elton John and a classic piano. Lamborghinis, Hellcats, Mustangs, Corvette, 57, black and red, heavy Chevy Bel Air. I will never burn. I should have made me a Pirelli. No service in my barely even use the celly. I don't need no internet for no false gratification. I'm just trying to make a statement for the loners right place. And hate show me love, so you know I'll bring the tea. Small circle in the middle, that's a hot bar sheet. Ain't no plan B, red dot on me. If I could repeat the red light blink, you bet I would, G. You can tell I'm a lone star. I ride around in my own car, but I don't really ever go far. Future bright like Ace on a moped. Hey, you can tell I'm a lone star. 3 a.m. still pumping on the outskirts. Taking outside the box Chevy. On God, spit flames like a devil in a hot rod. I'm a lone star. Outside the box Chevy. On God, spit flames like a devil in a hot rod. I'm a lone star. Outside the box Chevy. On God, spit flames like the devil in a hot rod.
Yeah, I'm a lone star. Yeah, I'm a lone star. I'm the light in my hood when it's so dark. And where I'm from, all we know is to go hard. Hey, yeah. We got them things in the south. If you need it, just name the amount. Of the fame and the cloud. Swinging lanes and changing the route. Peace and change, Johnny Dang in the mouth. That's what the age is about. And I don't give a fuck what they think about me. My OGs gave me game and I listen, been the same since bang. And still tipping, leave a stain cause I'm tripping.
You can tell I'm a lone star. I ride around in my own car, but I don't really ever go far. Future bright like Ace on a moped. Hey, you can tell I'm a lone star. 3 a.m. still popping on the outskirts. Taking outside the box Chevy. On God, spit flames like the devil in a hot rod. I'm a lone star. Outside the box Chevy. On God, spit flames like the devil in a hot rod. I'm a lone star. Outside the box Chevy. On God, spit flames like the devil in a hot rod. You can tell I'm a lone star. I ride around in my own car, but I don't really ever go far. Future bright like on a moped. You can tell I'm a lone star. 3 a.m. still pumping on the outskirts. Thinking outside the box Chevy. Oh God, spit flames like the devil in a hot rod. Hey.